Give me some peace of mind again, 'cause I've been walking up and floating off the edge. It's darling, I think I need the rain, so I can feel something, I only feel the pain. So let me hold you till the end, 'cause I've been holding on to all the words that you said. And if I fall down, I get up again, 'cause I've been holding on to all the words that you said. All the words that you said.
What's up, boys? We roll. We're here. It's another day. We are officially under 2 weeks from the NBA draft. I guess technically 2 weeks. Doesn't matter. 2 weeks out from the NBA draft. So, we're here. We're thriving. Nothing to be sad about. As far as I'm aware, I don't know if anything bad happened in the world today. I haven't watched the news. But, as far as I know, nothing to frown about. We got the number 2 pick. So, go us. We rock. I will give it a second to let people kind of pile in. I figured today, if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail or the title or the description or the hashtags or whatever, we're talking about DARRYN Peterson. Again, there's so much smoke out there. They're like, Cam Boozer this, AJ DeBonsa might fall this. I still think it's DARRYN Peterson at 2. I've held true to that. I think it's all smoke coming out of Washington or certain teams' camps. Like I think it's, I don't know. I think it's smoke, but yeah. So I figured we watch a little more DARRYN highlights, cause shit, he deserves it, dude. Why not? And yeah, and then there's a CBS Sports thing with Adam Finkelstein. They dropped a little video today talking about who should go number 1. Haven't watched it, so I figured we could watch that. And then there's a video going around from the Bill Simmons podcast. Oh, Jesus Christ, Cat. Holy crap. There's a clip. It's an 8-minute clip, so not really a clip here. 1 second, let me get the cat. Oh, holy crap. Sorry, boys. Jesus Christ. I don't know if you guys have a cat that screams, but mine does. Anyways, back to what we were saying. There is a Bill Simmons clip from his podcast that I don't know if it came out today or yesterday. But he talks about, like, Danny Ainge potentially picking Boozer and shit. So we're going to watch that. Shout out to Ty. He recommended we watch it. I was going to watch it anyways, but he just reassured me that I should watch it. So yeah. A little DARRYN Peterson stuff, then a little Adam Finkelstein stuff, and then a Bill Simmons podcast clip. And then we can ramble from there. We can ramble in between. Who knows? But yeah. Start out, I figured we can watch the DARRYN Peterson against Arizona tape because it's a soft spot for me. So, I mean, even though we won, so it didn't matter. But like, yeah. So I figured we watch that. 24 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists in 31 minutes. So played most of the game. So yeah, figured we'd watch that, talk about it. Because this is one of his best games. So yeah, we'll do that. Let me turn the music down a little bit. But yeah, let's get to it.
And then kicks out. Good hands by Arizona. White coming off an outstanding game. Feed Peterson. Jumper. Got it.
And I'll show you what I can do. And I don't even care if...
What's up, Ty? You're right. It's mostly smoke. It's going to be DARRYN. Yeah. We're hoping, dude. We're like... I don't know what the... Like, we should, before we watch all this, let's actually look at the NBA Draft 2026 odds. Is there a betting website? FanDuel. What's we got? FanDuel. What are the FanDuel odds? That's what's important here. Not that we gamble. Okay, Devonta's is minus 450 to go 1. Peterson's plus 3.8. Okay. Really? So they still got Cam Boozer at plus 17. Really? Okay. I don't know how like trustworthy you want to say FanDuel is, but that's for the number 1 pick. Can we look for number 2 pick? What are the percent chance? Because if that's the case, then it's like I would assume Darren Peterson's pretty high on the percent chance. Is there not? All right, dude. Maybe not. Maybe not FanDuel. What do we got? Betting websites. Kalshi, dude. That's it. Kalshi's the place to look. All right. Devon says 82% chance on Kalshi. Okay. With DP to 14%, which is interesting. Can I do the number 2 of pick? The number 2. That would be nice. That would be nice. Just a matter of time now. Blah, blah, blah. No. Okay. Number 2 pick. Come on. Darren Peterson is 63%, dude. I was gonna say 70, so 63 I'll take. I'm comfortable with that. It's gonna go exactly how we think. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm taking 63% on DP. That makes me happy. Considering we had a 40% chance to get a top 4 pick, or whatever, or 11% chance to get the number 2 pick, I'll take 63 to take DP, dude. 1 AJ, 2 DP, 3 Cam, 4 Caleb. Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to go. Boom, 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 boom. It's how it's been for the last 3 months. A year ago, it might have been a different conversation, but yeah, that's how it's going to be. AJ 1, DP 2, Cam 3, Caleb 4. And I think if anything is different there, it'll be Cam 2, DP 3. That'll be the only situation that maybe changes. I think AJ's pretty locked up at 1 at this point, I'd believe. But then, yeah, I think the only difference is like Danny Ainge. She has a history of like doing weird stuff with the top picks, whether it be trading or drafting a Jaylen Brown who wasn't projected to go there. Like, he does that kind of stuff. So who knows? Maybe he's like, he really likes Cam Boozer, and he's like, I'm going to take Cam at 2, F you guys. So that I could see being a possibility, which is very worrisome to me. But I like Cam, but again, you know my affection towards DP, so yeah, interesting. Boozer's got a 20% though. Like, that's not great, dude. A 1 in 5 chance right now on the betting websites that we take Cam Boozer. I don't love that. 1 in 5 is not great. Oh wow, I think if anything changes, it's going to be with the Grizz and Bulls. That's possible too. I think Caleb Wilson fits the Memphis culture better than Boozer does, and I think Boozer fits the Chicago culture better than Caleb does. But that's just like city and like history and stuff. Grit and grind is like very, very Caleb Wilson-esque, and then like the glamour of the Chicago market, like Dad used to play there, is cool for Cam. But I see that would be crazy to me if Memphis like looked at all this Cam Boozer stuff and went, we're still gonna take the upside of Caleb, which I love the upside of Caleb. Like, this is gonna be crazy to say. I really do see a lot of Giannis in Caleb. Like, that's a reach, I think. Like, don't like baby Giannis. Like, that might be a comparison, because you get a lot of like baby KD comparisons or like that kind of shit. So I think like baby Giannis, kind of, but I don't know. Like, people say Kevin Garnett. I can see that too. People say who else do they say? I mean, in fact, let's look up his comps before we just start going too off here. Wilson comps. Siakam. Okay, Sean Kemp. I see Sean Kemp a lot, actually. I don't know how I didn't think about that. Sean Kemp makes a lot of sense. Tony Snell. I see huge possibility of a bust. Tony Snell ass. Yeah, dude. I see it. I can see that. Hey, but don't hate on Tony Snell, dude. The GOAT. Tony Snell. The Milwaukee Buck GOAT. Tony Snell. I see Sean Kemp. I mean, Chris Bosh, obviously, but I don't know if that... You wouldn't want the health of Chris Bosh. Not that... Chris Bosh was healthy for, like, what was it, 8 or 9 years of his career? So, like, not an issue, but Sean Kemp makes the most sense to me, dude. I didn't even think about Sean Kemp. That's great. That's a perfect comp, dude. Like, what are the measurements? I don't want to, like... say this while Sean Kemp's like 2 inches taller or some shit, 3 inches taller. Height. That's interesting. Not images. Not AI mode. I mean, AI will tell me. What do we got? Okay, 6'10 with a 7'1 wingspan. Okay, remember that, boys. 6'10, 7'1 wingspan. What were we looking at? Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson height. 6'10 with a 7-foot wingspan. 7 1/4. So basically the same. He's Sean Kemp, dude. We figured it out. I didn't figure it out. Google figured it out. Somebody told Google, but look, by association, I figured it out. Okay, that's what matters. That's what fucking matters. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, dude, Sean Kemp makes a lot of sense to me, and now that I think about that, I really like that. I really like that a lot. That, like, his floor is like Sean Kemp and his ceiling is Kevin Garnett. Like, that's kind of sick, dude. Fuck around and find out. And then again, my comp for Cam Boozer is like low end Karl Anthony Towns or like Sabonis, and then high end Jokic. So like, if we don't get AJ or DP, we get one of those guys. So like, in reality, Ty, everybody else, in reality, is it that big of a deal? You know what I mean? Like, I know we were pumped when we got 2. I know you guys were celebrating. You don't have it on camera. I do see a lot of Tim Duncan in camp too. You'll see that once my Instagram is public. You can follow it. I have like a whole highlight thing the day the draft happened. And I was like, yeah, Tim Duncan, dude. Cam Boozer, Tim Duncan, 100%. But then the more I've thought about it, I do see more like the offensive passing ability of Jokic. But I see the shooting percentages and stuff of Cat. But not like the wingspan and like length of Cat. But he has like the body of Tim Duncan and like the body of Sabonis. So like it's... But in reality, like what player has ever lived up to their comp or been comparable to their like draft comp? Anybody ever? You know, so I don't think that's realistic to just say he's going to be like one of those guys. He's going to be his own different animal. As Kobe Bryant says in that commercial, is like, are you the same animal but a different beast? Or whatever the fuck he says. It's the same idea. So I'm just saying screw it and taking the chance on Darren. Worth the risk. Yeah, bro. Like it's... Here's the fun thing, dude. Let's just trade our whole roster to get 3 picks in the top 4 and take all 3 of them. 3 of these 4 guys. Not possible. Like, that's what I should do. You know, there's always those annoying ass trades on Twitter and everything where it's like, I talked about this like week 1 of my streams. Parker, I don't know if you're out there. You were there for it. And I was just sitting there. I was like, like the Lakers are coming up with stupid stuff, stupid trades. Like, you get Austin Reeves, and we get Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., the number 2 pick, and Ace Bailey. It's like that's what the Lakers come up with. That's what their fans come up with. So we should do something similar. I'll be like, all right, Memphis gets Bryce Sensabaugh and a 2nd rounder, and we get the number 3 pick. And Washington, they get we'll give them John Conchar and a protected 1st round pick to move up to 1 or to get 1. So then we have 1, 2, and 3. That's my trade concept, guys. If you disagree, let me know. All right, because I think all teams say yes there. I can't imagine a team says no. Like, I couldn't think that. You know, Washington. Why would they say no to that? I don't know. But yeah, dude. Shout out Caleb Wilson. I guess I shouldn't have been knocking on him, but I don't even know what got me started there. But it's because you asked me something about, or I guess 'cause I was talking about Darren early on. But yeah, 10 seconds in, dude. You got me rambling for 5 minutes after 10 seconds in. Ty, we go. I love it.
He misses shots.
Yes.
Stay aggressive, like right here.
At the basket.
That's it.
And 1.
That's it. He's a 3-level scorer. We know he's got the range. He gets into the mid-range pull-up. But I think I'm with you, man. Even if you go down fighting, you have to show everybody.
Again, I would also like to mention, this is in Arizona against the number 2 at the time team in the nation. And this is when they were coming off of being the number 1 team in the nation for like 19 weeks in a row or some shit. So when it comes to competition at the the college level, this is the hardest it's going to get for Darren Peterson, I think, all year. I mean, he played Duke, but he didn't play. He wasn't in that game. So this is the hardest game he played in all year on paper. So just remember, he's playing against 5 future NBA players right here in reality. Not on this possession here, but Jaden Bradley's going in the second round this year. Koa Pete's going in the late first. Krivas is going in the beginning of the first next year. Ivan Karchenkov is probably going to go second round next year. And then Koa Pete and Braden Burries will be on the floor at some point, and he's going 9th this year. So, and then Del Orso's going to play in the Australian League probably next year. So he's like a pro level player as well. So the top 6 players on this team are all pro level players. And he still does this. So just remember that, okay?
Arizona having their way with number 14, Kansas. Peterson.
And, of course, that's when the cramping started in the second half.
Chenkov sets the screen as the give off. Del Orso will try.
Not a good shot.
Deflected.
It's good defense and the best shooter on the team. So
this is the first time I've heard the coach say that.
Yep.
And he's currently being defended by the best defender on the team.
Peterson kicks Council into the paint.
Beautiful.
And there's
if I were Darren Peterson now, I just keep it.
Peterson going to work. Hangs and hits. Peterson, quick release.
Okay, again, he just did that against Mo Krivas, who's going to be projected the number 8 pick next year, center. At least that's what certain mocks have him as, 8 to 15 I've seen. And then Jaden Bradley, the Big 12 Player of the Year, who's going second round this year. So, very impressive as a freshman, is what I'm saying.
And the tip.
Wow. Terrific job. A quick second jumping right there. Staying with it and getting himself, I wouldn't say it easy to, because that was difficult for Arizona.
Karchenkov had it knocked away.
Definitely has the defensive upside of a guard that you want.
Peterson, that's a 3.
Oh, beautiful. We were right here in front of him. Was that beautiful?
Gord.
That pull-up was outstanding. This is what he's got to do, John.
Like, he's going to be doing that every night in the league. Like, that's what Devin Booker does every night. That's what a Tyrese Maxey does every night. That's what a Devin Booker does every night. Again, not the same shot format, but the same get around the screen, pull up. Like, that's a very consistent commonality for a guard in the NBA nowadays. If you want to be an all-star level guard, that is. But back to what I was saying, how he's playing against 6 pro-level players right now. The rest of his team, he's not. Like, the next best player on the team is probably Flory Badunga, but he's staying back in college and he transferred, I don't remember where, Louisville or something. So Badunga transferred out of Kansas. Like, he's not even, I'd have to look at the mocks. I don't want to shit talk him yet, but he's all right player. Melvin Council, he's going to play in the G League and then probably play somewhere else. So he's barely a pro-level player. Nobody else on the team is like solid. And Bill Self is Bill Self. You have your own opinion on that. So the fact that he's able to do this kind of stuff in this game, in this environment, at this time of the year, in Big 12 play, like, it's so fucking impressive. This is the stuff that impresses me. People go, oh, he's got cramps. He's like, I don't fucking care, frankly. I don't give a shit. If we get this for 60 games a year, and then, you know, on the important days of the playoffs, but he'll miss like 1 game every 2 series. If that's the case, I will take that all day the fucking week over 79 games of Caleb Wilson and he plays all the playoffs. Like, that's more important to me. I think we'd be a more effective winning team with 10 less games or 12 less games of Darren Peterson. Frankly, that might be a crazy statement. I don't know. I might watch this back like, what the fuck did he say? But frankly, that's how I feel right now. I would rather have less versions of DP than a lot of games of the other guys. Now, if it's AJ, that's a different conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's why AJ will likely go 1, because he's pretty equal on the level of Darren, but he's going to stay way healthier. Like, his body will it will. So, I think that's also the argument for AJ to go 1. But, does he fit our system as good as DP? No. So, it don't matter.
Held his ground without fouling.
Peterson jumper. Tip, and it's good.
Got his own tip, dude. That was actually nuts.
Peterson jumper. Tip, and it's...
Like, for a guy, and I've mentioned this in previous streams, he's not one, and this is a crazy thing to say, considering he has the dunk of the fucking year, maybe the best dunk I've seen in the last I don't know how long. But he doesn't typically throw that shit down on you. You know, like he's like a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I know that's the comparison I always use. But Shea doesn't, like, I'm sure if I type in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander poster, I'll find some nasty shit. I know it exists. Every pro level athlete has a nasty poster. They can all do it. But he's not like one to do that a lot. He's more of a layup kind of guy, get around your man. So him doing that is as close to what Ace or Lowry did this year, throwing it off the backboard and yamming it. Like, this is like the Darren Peterson equivalent. So again, really good, and an all-American level center. So pretty good, pretty fucking good.
Peterson jumper, tip, and it's good.
Now, here's the deal. I think that ball was going in, and he's going to get credit for the basket. Did he tip it in?
Council gives off to Peterson. Back to Council. That's a three.
I mean, he can play make, dude. I mean, he's able to find an open man. I don't know what I'm saying. Everybody can do that. But have faith, dude. Believe in him, okay? Believe in my boy.
Wrestle on occasion.
Every once in a while. Peterson wide
It's that
open
shit,
look.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's that shit right there that's going to make him unbelievable in the NBA. Like, curling around the screen, and it's a... Again, out of all the people that it's the screen for, it's the fucking best defender on the team. Perfect get around, pull up.
Peterson.
Like, in the NBA, will that get blocked from behind? I mean, depends on who you're playing, you know? Like, it depends on the guard, depends on the wing that's guarding you. But in college basketball, he's going to get away with that for 9 out of 10 times, which is just nuts. So, that's the stuff that mesmerizes me, that has me just like, oh shit, dude. Could you imagine him next to Keontae? Can you imagine him next to Ace? Can you imagine, like, just for the next 8 years going forward? Like, come on, boys. Dream with me. Have hope.
Wide open look. Got it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the Darren Peterson. This is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Flory sets the screen.
Nice.
Peterson with Karchenkov on his hip. Finds Badunga. Inside and two.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Kale. Crowd has been awesome today.
Another three? Nah.
Peterson. Jumper contested.
Good pull-up. Can't hate it. Simply can't hate it. Yeah. Guess we can watch while we're here, dude. Let's watch 3 minutes of his McDonald's All-American game. Because he had 18.7 rebounds, 3 assists. So that's like, if that's something he could do consistently, is like, obviously you'd want more than 18 points a game. Ideally, at his peak, you'd like him to be scoring 25 plus. But if he could be getting 7 rebounds, 3 assists regularly, like average, like 5.5, 6 rebounds with 2 assists, 2.5 assists, bro, that's all we need. Like, we don't need him to be getting 7 assists a game, 6 assists a game. Like, that's, like Keontae do that if that's the offense we're rolling with. Like, we don't need DP. DP can be our Devin Booker. Like, I'm fine with that. Even though I know he's like going around telling people that he wants to be a point guard. Like, I'm a point guard. I don't care what you think, Darren. If you work best as our point guard, you can be our point guard. But if you work better as a Devin Booker and you want to be shooting that shit, congrats, bro. Like, there's a realistic possibility that Darren's like a top 3 3-point shooter in the league. Like, if Con could do what he did this year, I don't see why Darren percentagely couldn't do the same thing. Now, I don't know if he would shoot that high volume. Obviously, I don't know if he'd shoot 300 and, what was it, 3? Might have been 400. How many threes did he shoot this year? Knipple, I'm not even try to spell it. Amount of threes this year. It's going to include, let's see. Yeah, 273. Crazy, dude. Considering the previous rookie record was Keegan Murray 206, and Donovan was right before that. I think he was like 202 or 190 or something. NBA rookie 3-point leaders. No, like all time, bro. Give me all time. All time. Come on. There we go. Donovan, 187. Okay. So Con at 273. Big drop off. Keegan Murray 206, Donovan at 187, Dame at 185, and B. Miller at 184. Which is crazy because Donovan held that record for like, what was that, 5 years? It was like shit. That's the way the NBA just shows it, dude. Like, look at the way the NBA's changed. The top 5 rookies in most threes made in a season are all since 2012, 2013, and Damian Lillard. Like, Dame in 2012, 2013, Don in 2017, 2018, Brandon Miller in 23, 24, or no, Keegan Murray 22, 23, B. Miller 23, 24, and Conker Nipple 25, 26. Like, but no, old heads. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean those guys would totally dominate this era? What are you talking about? And it's not just Michael Jordan, it's any of them, okay? Shit. You think homeboys that were shooting from 3 feet closer in the mid-90s, shooting 29% would be elite shooters now? Like, I hate that argument, dude. I hate that argument. These kids have been training since they were 2 years old, shooting from beyond the arc. What a dumb argument. Dumb argument.
In terms of competitiveness, and you think the year before, Ron Holland, Isaiah Collier, that group played really hard.
You can't forget about DJ Wagner, who showed up big time at the end of that game as we see AJ DeMonsta.
Sanak already with 3 personal fouls, by the way. Peterson, the follow slam.
Darren.
For those wondering, he's playing with AJ DeMonsta in this game, not against.
Peterson, I asked him, pretty much begged him to be in the dunk contest. He made it clear. He's a game dunker. He doesn't have tricks.
48th annual McDonald's All-American Games here in Brooklyn. East up by 3. Darius Acuff missed the floater. Peterson ahead of the pack for the slam.
And the nice hit ahead by Michael Brown.
Again, I keep saying this like every day, but Darren Peterson has been the best player on the floor in every game he's ever played. And that includes the McDonald's All-American game, where AJ's in the game, Acuff's in the game. I think Caleb Wilson's in this game. I think Cam Boozer's in this game. So he's always been the #1 player. Like, it's DP at 2. That's all I'm saying.
Peterson streaking down the floor.
You see Brown with the outlet pass. Peterson taking off. Michael Brown, Darius Acuff. Yes, food topping. DeMonsta, Chris Sanak Jr. and others.
How about Caleb Wilson doing the job defensively?
Brown to Peterson for 3. Yes, sir. He scores so easy, and he reads the game so well.
Ability to put the ball on the floor and get to his spot.
When he gets stronger and gets leverage in the game, he's going to be a monster. Peterson draws the foul. At the same stage, you remember Jason, Corey. We saw him when he was a sophomore, Paul. He looked like he was ready to contribute in a college game back then. Acuff missed the layup.
Boozer ahead, allowing him to be able to get the easy finish.
Watching this game in practices and watching this class for 4 years, Corey. It's a great group.
That was a good feed.
Sean Abayev against Wilson. Taken away.
There he goes, dude.
Peterson to the rack.
As Abayev goes to his right, look at AJ getting there, knocking the basketball.
That was crazy. I want you to look at this right here. Let's see if I can get a good angle there. Look at the 3 people that are in white right there. Can you guess, dude? Do you know who it is? Boo, 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 boo. It's Darren Peterson, Caleb Wilson, and AJ DeMonsta all on the same team. Like, that's not fair. Is it? 3 of the 4 best players in the class are on the same team? That doesn't sound fair to me. But whatever.
Hey, look at AJ getting there, knocking the basketball away, getting that to Darren Peterson. It's 3 different guys involved on a defensive effort on that play.
Wilson the steal. Ahead to Darren Peterson, who is a problem.
When as you see Caleb Wilson with the great pass to lead Darren Peterson into the dunk.
DeMonsta and Peterson remain on the floor. Blake Thomas has joined him along with Arenas and Sanak.
Come on, bro. Like, come on.
Is that 3 or 4 dunks already in this fourth quarter for Peterson? It seems like every time we look up, he's on the rim. Happier, talk with her pregame, having Carmani beside her, watching her twin boys play. She's in a great spot, and of course, as a basketball player. But when you consider putting together a combo guard, a guy that can play with the ball in his hands or off the basketball, this is exactly what you're looking for. Can finish at the rim, makes his free throws, and more importantly, can shoot the 3-ball and competitive, BB.
When you look at the class, A.J. DeBonza, 3 and white, #1 player in the class, as well as DARRYN Peterson, who's going to Kansas. Tunde Yesufu as well on his way to Baylor.
Can't hate it, dude. You simply can't hate it. So, I think that's enough for DARRYN Peterson tonight. We've been doing that for 30 minutes. Sorry, boys. Obviously, we're going to do this Adam Finkelstein interview. This is 12 minutes. I don't know how long of it we'll watch here. But again, we start earlier tonight, so we might go late. I don't know how it goes. So we might watch it all. But he might. I'm sure he's going to talk about DARRYN Peterson and all that stuff here. But, yeah. We'll just see what they think. Came out today, so it'll be interesting.
The biggest question, and very literally the first question, and that is the battle for the #1 spot. Now, this is a race that has gone back and forth for well over a year now between A.J. DeBonza and DARRYN Peterson. I've been very candid that I think Cameron Boozer deserves to be in that discussion as well. But the perception of the public and most who study the NBA draft is that the Wizards are going to choose between Peterson and DeBonza. Perhaps I should say DeBonza and Peterson, based on what we think the likelihood is, and that is that DeBonza will and ultimately be the first-round pick. But it's important to note that we don't have any assurances as of yet. And as I said last week on CBS Sports HQ, I'm told that DeBonza doesn't have any assurances yet, that he has not been to Washington yet. So want to break it down and talk about the race between these two guys, the case for DeBonza, the case for Peterson.
It's interesting that DeBonza hasn't been to Washington because Cam Boozer's been to Utah. Obviously, AJ's been to Utah. I think we've worked out DARRYN, and if not, I think it's next week. So, like, kind of weird. But, like, he hasn't been to Washington at least once. I would think he'd go at least twice, considering they have the #1 pick. But whatever. I don't know ball, so...
Peterson, I will start with you. Very simply, do you have a favorite prospect in this class?
My favorite is DARRYN Peterson, but it's really, really close. And I think the reason why it's become a conversation between these two guys and why Cam Boozer isn't in this conversation is because I think both A.J. DeBonza and DARRYN Peterson profile as legit on-ball #1 options. At the end of the day, I think Cam Boozer might not be that. He might be a #2 option, and a great #2 option at that. But that's why I think it's down to 2 for me, and it's between DeBonza and it's between Peterson.
And that's why if Utah doesn't draft one of the two of them, we fucking riot, dude.
I lean Peterson just because of the shot making upside with him is a little bit different. And maybe it's my aesthetic bias where I watch DARRYN Peterson play basketball. I'm like, that's what it's supposed to look like at 6'5" playing off the ball. But this is going to be a really fascinating race because I think you could make a strong option or pitch for both of these two guys. And I do wonder if fit ends up being the differentiator for the Wizards.
Again, I don't remember what draft pick Ben McLemore was, and I don't remember what draft pick Danny Manning was. I know Josh Jackson was like the 4th or 5th pick, right, by Phoenix. And Andrew Wiggins was the #1 pick. And DARRYN Peterson outscored Andrew Wiggins by 3 points. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. If he's sitting there at 2, I can't imagine passing him up, but the all-knowing Danny Ainge, so I'm going to trust him. I don't know.
Because I do think there's a really good chance that one prospect, and we'll get into it here in a second, fits a little bit better for the Wizard than the other.
Okay, and I agree with you. I think regardless of the perception is that Boozer may not be the on-ball creator and may, by extension, not be the hub of an offense. So we're going to leave him to the second segment of this show. We'll get into him versus Caleb Wilson for the perceived race for the #3 pick. As it relates to DeBonza versus Peterson, Peterson was my guy coming out of high school. We were the only recruiting service in the country to rank him number one. That came after he outplayed DeBonsa head-to-head. He outplayed all the top prospects head-to-head, and then he ended up winning co-MVP of the McDonald's All-American game along with Boozer. And then what was interesting is that coming into the season, Peterson as the number one prospect in high school last spring was a bit of a contrarian take. No one else had it. And yet coming into the college season, it seemed to be almost the consensus that you found Peterson atop many of the draft big boards. And then obviously that's when all of the issues began. The availability soap opera, shall we say. You know, it was the cramping, whether it now we're being told that was because of too much creatine, and that there were different injuries and illnesses and things like that. And by the time it was all said and done, he missed a variety of games, but he missed even more second halves. And I think it would be disingenuous to say that that isn't a big part of the calculus for a lot of people. It's a big part of the calculus for me. I think it impacts his floor, not so much his ceiling, but I think it impacts his floor. And I also think, and this is something we're going to get into later, I think the GMs are petrified of missing on this. Actually, you know what? Let's.
And that's why he needs to take him at number 2, dude. Holy shit.
Let's talk about this right now. I have been told, I remember I was at the Hoop Hall Classic in January and got told by a scout, just verbatim. He said, I would be petrified of taking one and missing on the other. And I think right now, AJ is viewed as a bit of a higher floor prospect, and DP, because of the circumstances of this season, is viewed as having a wider range of potential outcomes. If availability becomes an issue, that really, would lessen his floor. And I think people are just really, really scared. And obviously people right now it's just Washington. It's just Will Dawkins. But how daunting is the risk of taking that swing on DP and passing on AJ when he's viewed as the higher floor? Can you speak to that a little bit about maybe what the perception of DP's floor after all the uncertainty coming out of this season?
Yeah, I disagree with it. I don't think that
Cool.
Darren Peterson is a low floor prospect in the NBA draft. Look at the NBA.
I also don't agree with the idea of like drafting somebody based on their floor. Frankly, I think you should be drafting off their ceiling. Because again, if you're taking Cam Boozer at 2, because his floor is just so high, it's like, worst case scenario, he's an 18-8 kind of guy. I get it. But when you're drafting this high in the draft at 1, 2, 3, whatever, you need to be drafting a dude that can lead you to a championship. Frankly, that's how it is. And if they can't do it and they end up busting, like an Andrew Wiggins or a James Wiseman or you name it. There's one, Marvin Bagley, DeAndre Ayton. Happens every time, every year or two. There's always one of those guys. Scoot Henderson. It happens, right? If you're going to be taking a dude that high with that high of potential, you need to be taking a dude that can become a Kevin Durant. Or I don't know, Cooper Flagg or Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball even. You got to be shooting for that kind of ceiling. And Cam Boozer just doesn't have that. I'm sorry, Cam's a stud. He's a good kid. But I don't see him being a 5-time first-team All-NBA, 2-time MVP. I don't see that from Cam Boozer. I think AJ and Darren both have that in them. So I'd rather take that and have them flop and Cam Boozer end up being really good than to take Cam Boozer and he ends up being fine and then Darren Peterson's a fucking superstar in Memphis. That's bad GM work. That's how GMs get fired. So not that either of our GMs, whether it's Danny or Austin, have any worry about losing their job anytime soon, but in general, that's how a GM loses their job, is doing that kind of shit. So let's not do that. Let's look good. Let's operate the right way, okay?
playoffs right now, there are always going to be room for a 6'5", 6'6" guard who can play on or off the ball, who can pass, dribble, and shoot, has off movement threes in his bag, has a feathery pull up, can get downhill at will. Like, there's always going to be room in the league for a player like that. There's no chance that, if healthy, Darren Peterson is ever someone who's phased out of the rotation because he's not talented enough. He's one of the most polished players. Right.
No, go.
Yeah, he's one of the most polished players just in this draft, and I don't think that the injury, fiasco, what would you call it, a soapbox of everything that went on.
Soap opera.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's predictive of things to come necessarily. I think that there's a chance that isn't a huge part of his in the range of potential outcomes. There's a chance that he isn't an injury-prone player, quote unquote. Maybe he does, and maybe that is part of the calculation. But from a pure basketball perspective, if you're able to mesh what we saw in high school at Prolific Prep, which was an unbelievable downhill maven that could not...
Maybe the best player I've ever seen in my life was Darren Peterson at Prolific Prep, but continue.
...be kept in front of with the off-movement shooter that we saw at Kansas. That's an incredibly, incredibly valuable archetype heading into the NBA draft. And yeah, I mean, there was availability questions in high school too, and they carried over into college. Right. That could be part of the calculus here of the risk factor. But from a pure basketball perspective, I don't see that low of a floor for Darren Peterson because of the polish that he has in his game.
Well, that answers my question. Danny Manning went first overall. I don't know how I didn't know that. He actually, I knew that. Yeah, dude. So, and then yeah, Josh Jackson went fourth. So, shout out the future number 2 pick, dude. He's gonna slot right in there between Joel Embiid and Danny Manning. What a great thing that's gonna be, huh, boys?
I don't think the floor is based on pure basketball. I think the floor is based on the frequency with which he's on the floor and the frequency by which he's 100% on the floor. I also think it is exasperated by the fact that he didn't have great answers to some of the important questions. There's a lot of skepticism about whether the creatine story is really the root of the issue. When I asked him point blank, when was the last time he was 100% at the combine, he didn't have a great answer to that. And what I was expecting him to say is I wasn't 100% all season long, because to your point, the upside is based on the potential to match what we saw in high school, which was this physical, long, big guard who attacked the rim, who scored at multiple levels, who made plays for others, who had a real knack for getting fouled. And you combine that with the shot maker we saw at college. What people don't appreciate about Darren Peterson is
I appreciate you, Ty. You the GOAT, man. You guys too, though. In fact, while we're at it, dude, you guys hit 50 subs today? You guys hit 50, dude? Did we hit 50 subs on TikTok today? Fuck, still at 48. Come on, boys, change it. Sub to TikTok. I appreciate you, Ty.
Massive gains we saw in his shooting from high school to college. And I think if the, I don't want to say story, but if the narrative had been like, hey, I wasn't healthy all year long and I was just doing my best to play through it, and here's the medical stuff to document why that was the case, that's really clean. And I think at that point, there's a lot of faith in like, okay, maybe he can be the best version of himself. But if you have to wonder how often he's on the floor, and you have to wonder how often he's at 100%, because when he's not at 100%, he doesn't pressure the rim like he did in high school. That's why I think it was important that he come out and say, hey, I wasn't 100% at Kansas. Because if there were times this year when he was 100%, then why wasn't he pressuring the rim like he did in high school?
See, we're gonna get those subs up once the pod's up tomorrow and I edit some shorts. Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. What time's it dropping tomorrow? Like 6 o'clock or something? I need to get better at my shorts too. I don't know like how. I should really spend like an hour or two watching videos like how to properly make shorts, but I just kind of like figure it out on my own. I don't know.
I think these are, let me rephrase. I know these are questions that NBA people are asking right now and trying to figure out. But as I said, it's really just about what Will Dawkins is.
When's the best time to upload? It's a good question. Here's what I would say. Because it doesn't matter, because I I do content every day. But when the Jazz Man, a couple weeks ago, they put a poll out, or they asked on their profile, they're like, we're thinking about changing, because they were uploading it on Tuesdays or something, and they're like, we're thinking about moving to the weekend, like, what do you guys think, or something. I told them I think the weekend would be smarter, but I'm not telling you to do the weekend. Obviously stay to Wednesdays, but I'll elaborate in a second. I told them going to the weekends would be smarter, because David Locke only uploads Monday through Friday, and then KSL Sports, they only do really Monday through Friday. So there's a lot of like missing Jazz content Saturday and Sunday specifically. Not that like people normally, I don't know, people are out with their families on the weekend, so like, it may not be the best time to be watching content too. The weekend or weekdays might be better. But I think if you're going to be doing the middle of the week kind of rotation, which I think is smart. Let's see. Yeah, weekend is def the best. With me and talent schedule, there's no way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like weekends, you don't need to shoot for the weekends. But if you're going like Wednesdays, I would go later afternoon or like earlier in the night, just because like David Locke and like, because I know KSL Sports, like Ben Anderson, they're done at 6, I believe. I think he's 2 to 6 now. I think he's Ben Anderson. So I think if you're going on a Wednesday, anytime from like 6 to 8, I would think that'd be the best time. Like, to be fair, I'm at work, so I couldn't even watch it at that time. Doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I would say like 6 to 8 on Wednesdays, which I don't know. Again, that's Utah time, so I forget what time zone you are. What is in Texas time zone? I don't know. But Talon's the same time zone, so like whatever. 6 to 8 o'clock for Talon, whatever that is for him. Okay, that's how I would operate. Yeah, I would try to at least hour ahead. Okay, yeah. So from 7 to 9 for you. Do something in that range. Yeah, I think if you're going to be making content, especially around a sports team or something like that, you should be trying to fit your content in the space that people aren't typically, which doesn't apply to me at all because I just stream in the middle of the night sometimes. Like, I'm not. But I think if you're going to be doing that kind of stuff, like Jasmine have whatever it is, Saturdays that they upload. If you're taking Wednesdays, take Wednesday nights. KSL and David Locke, they're going to have the morning through afternoons throughout the weekdays. Just that kind of stuff. That's my recommendation for the boys. For the boys and the female editor.
Thinking in this scenario, but I think we're aligned in that if and when he is 100% and durable, there is a real case to be made that he is the best long-term upside.
Timeout. Sorry, Stanley Cup game just ended. Who won? Last I saw, Canes were up 3-1 was the last time I saw. Okay, they won 5-3. Okay. Tied series. Sorry, Ty, if you're a Golden Knights fan. I apologize. But, go Canes, dude. Go Canes. In fact, I don't really care. It's not like to the degree where I'm like, go Canes, but I'm leaning Canes. That's how it goes.
Prospect in this class, and also one of the best on-ball creators we've seen in numerous draft cycles for a guard. Let's talk a little bit about Devonta, because I think that he has, to his credit, he elevated his stock this year. He got.
Not a Knights fan. Okay, good. Well, I just know you lived there for a certain amount of time. I remember you saying that, and then Talon is like close by, so I was like, if they're gonna be a hockey fan, I would assume Golden Knights, but oh, dude, Mammoth, I would hope. Dallas Stars. Okay, I don't hate Dallas Stars. They're actually probably the only team in Dallas I don't hate. So, like 8 years, okay. Yeah, Stars are cool. My dad likes the Stars, so I don't dislike the Stars. But they're our main competition for the Mammoths, so I don't love them either. I'm sure there's going to be a point in the next 5 to 10 years where we play them in the playoffs, and I end up just hating the Stars after that. But, you know. Also, shout out to the 8 viewers, dude. It's the most I've ever had. I appreciate it.
Way better this year at BYU. Not just putting points on the board in high volume, but I thought he got better with his focus. I thought in high school he was someone who was It was often like more of a show than it was a competition. I thought he was performing rather than competing.
That's exactly what it was, dude. Like, respect to AJ, but he was like performing. He was like, it was a show for him in high school. It wasn't necessarily that in college. At BYU, he was forced into some like sticky situations, but in high school, like straight up, he was just like, I'm gonna shoot this three, F you. I'm gonna shoot this three again, F you. Like, there was no like method to his madness. I love this Javs bubble we've recently built. We should all meet up at the game. I'll be at the home over. Yeah, that's what your sister said. You and Talon, I think. Yeah, dude. I think the Jasmine said they wanted to go, so maybe we'll do that, dude. Get the gang out to the home opener. I don't know who we're playing, right? Because that doesn't come out till August, but we can see Utah Jazz home opener 2026 tickets. I don't know. Buy NBA tickets, dude. Let's see. What would the tickets be? Even possible, dude? NBA Utah Jazz. Is it even a possibility? Yeah, no. There's no tickets. But good to know, dude. Good to know. T-Talk. There's the boys. Good to know.
At times at high school, especially Utah Prep, I thought that was a decision that went bad. But this year at BYU, he really showed clear maturation in terms of his maturity, ability to play through contact, ability to score the ball at really translatable levels, ability to make reads and passing decisions. I think the defense is something that didn't make the gains that we were hoping to see despite his physical tools. Where are you? Let me ask it to you this way. I think we talked about floor and ceiling for DARRYN Peterson. I know what my answer is for AJ DeBonsa. What do you think his floor is, and what do you think his ceiling is?
Floor is probably a 17-year NBA player that scores thousands of points and is.
His floor is a 17-year NBA player? Huh? His floor is a dude that retires at 36? Huh? If that's the case, he's consensus number one, doesn't even fucking matter. What? 17-year career floor. What the fuck is he gonna say is his ceiling? God?
Ceiling is a potential MVP. Like, that's the type of.
I was really expecting God himself. That's too bad. That's kind of weird. Either a 17-year career or an MVP level career. That's So if we don't get DARRYN Peterson, we get him. Like, what a life, dude. What a fucking life we live, boys. What a life we live.
Player that you could potentially add to your franchise right now. And I think the biggest thing about him that I love is just like NBA and basketball in general is just all about creating advantages and then smashing said advantages. AJ DeBonsa creates and smashes advantages as well as anybody in this draft class. And at 6'9", his ability, his polish in the middle of the floor to create space for those step backs, step throughs, fadeaways, like it's just nuts. It's nuts. And you can see him heading into the league, finding the worst perimeter defender and putting him in a torture chamber, possession after possession after possession. And I agree with you. I thought he did a lot of really good things at BYU in the ancillary parts of his game. I thought his leadership was really good for a team that was rocky and lost Richie Saunders, who is it's rock midway through the season. I thought his playmaking got better as the season went on. I know he can impact winning in a lower usage role. We've seen that, right, for Team USA in certain stops before. So just that ability to show that he could be that number one option, and we know he can scale down and to fit anything that he wants, and he creates and smashes all of those advantages. He's a worthy number one pick, even if I like DARRYN Peterson a smidge more.
So that's where I probably differ with you a little bit. I'm not sure how well he scales down in order to impact winning. USA basketball, I would argue Michael Brown was the best player on that team, even though AJ got MVP. I'll say this briefly. I think AJ's ceiling is...
That doesn't make fucking sense. Michael Brown was the best player on the team, even though AJ got the MVP. Like, how many times in the basketball lore of things does the best player in a series or on a winning team not win the MVP? You know what I mean? Like, obviously you can go back to like Jerry West won it, he didn't win the finals, but like I'm talking about like guys that won. the championship or won the Eastern Finals or won the Western Finals, like winning the. Pretty sure the best player wins it every single time. So I don't know. Like if you want to argue like last or 2 years ago when Jaylen Brown won it over Tatum, like maybe there's an argument there because I think like out of the 9 votes or something, it was like 5-4. So like there's arguments, but.
Is the leading scorer in the NBA. Like he could lead the NBA in scoring 1 year, multiple years. I think that's the best version of himself. And he's got a ton of untapped defensive upside. Candidly, he's not nearly the defender he should be for his physical tools. I think his floor is the leading scorer on a bad team. And I would argue there is, unfortunately, some history of that. This is a guy who's never really won a championship at a big level outside of USA basketball. This is a BYU team that went into the year that had like national championship aspirations. And I get Saunders went down, but when you're the leading scorer and your team loses 8 out of 11 and just looks, drastically less than they should be, there are questions that need to be answered there. And I have talked to NBA people who have very real concerns. They all know he's going to score. But does the scoring come in service of winning? I think that is the question.
It's a pretty good question, dude. It's a pretty good question. But yeah, dude, that's pretty much all we wanted to watch on YouTube, unless we have some other stuff pop up. Got into the Darren Peterson bit of it all. Got into the CBS Sports of it all. Now, unless there's any disagreement from anybody in the chat, now we can watch the Bill Simmons clip. Talking about potentially the Jazz taking Cam Boozer at 2. So we'll watch this, give opinions, see what happens.
Because I do think DeBance is going to go first, regardless of how we try to talk the Boozer thing. I just think he's going to go first. I think Danny's such a wild card at second, and there's no way to predict it, and it's going to come down. He's going to take all the input from everybody, but it's ultimately going to come down. He's going to be watching these guys, and he's going to hone in on some sort of specific thing that he's been able to do over and over again. He did it with Tatum. He did it with Brown. He did it when he was going to take Durant. He over and over again, he looks at like the high-end talent guys and just is able to project them. And you would think it's going to happen with Peterson, but I think there's too many red flags. I think he's going to stay away from Peterson, and I could see him taking Boozer at 2 would be my minus 130 bet right now. I might be wrong, but I really think they're going to take Boozer.
Get your pitchforks ready, all right, boys? That's all I'm saying.
I do. I can't explain it. I think they're going to take Boozer at 2.
You think the Jazz are going to take Boozer at 2?
I do.
That would be interesting based on because that would be going with what we were talking about, like just taking a guy because you like him. Because at 3, 4, 5, the Jazz, I mean, you went out of your way to get Jaren Jackson, and you have Lauri Markkanen, you have Kessler, you have, Ace Bailey. I was thinking about Ace Bailey, though. What do you think the compare and contrast there is like his situation last year at 5? I mean, remember, it's easy to forget.
And what did he do? They went for the talent, right?
And they were like, yes, we know there's a lot of noise around that. Ainge just has a way of just being like, I kind of feel like he has a way of not being as bothered by some of that stuff, right? Like he just kind of weren't there kind of questions about Tatum having distraction around him too when he was coming in, where people are like,
I don't remember that, but go off, dude.
I don't know. You probably remember that better, but I feel like I remember hearing things about that with Tatum when he was coming in.
Well, think about when they did the Tatum move. They already had Jaylen Brown and they had Hayward.
Also, they didn't have Hayward. Hayward signed with them like a week later, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Tatum was drafted, and then Gordon signed in free agency, right? Like a week and a half later? Doesn't matter. Whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, and when they did the trade down and they were going to take Tatum, it was like, well, this is weird. They're going to take another wing? How many wings do you need? But his attitude was, this is where basketball is going. I don't think you can have enough wings. we're going to have awesome wings out there all the time. We'll have at least 2. We'll play 3 together, and that's how we're going to think. So that's why with the Boozer thing, I can't shake the feeling I have in my gut that he's.
What do you think we should improve besides the Echo, Ella? Good question, bro. That's a good question. I mean, if you could interview Sydney Sweeney for me, that'd be really cool. That's a suggestion I will give every content creator in any space. If you can get Sydney Sweeney on your channel, views are gonna go way the fuck up, brother. I don't know, dude. Let's look at the channel, dude. Suggestions. I don't know, dude. I like the thumbnails. I like the banner. I don't like the fact that they're not at 50 subs yet. You know, that makes me a little mad. I don't know if you're able to change that, but if you could change that number right there to 50 or above, that'd be sick. Well, let me click on the profile picture. The profile picture's nice. What I would do, I'd maybe try to crop the profile picture to where it's like zoomed in a little more, because it's kind of hard to see that it's you guys. Like, you can tell that it's 2 people standing in front of the jazz note, but like you can't really see facial. Like, you can kind of see that he's Blockhead Steve a little bit. But, like, I think if you could zoom into where like the full circle of the jazz note is also taking up the full circle of the icon, I think you guys would be a little closer up. It might be a little more blurry, but you might be able to put it into something like a Lightroom or something and change the detail on it and make it look a little less blurry at that moment in time. Then I'd probably also up the contrast, make it a little better. Blockhead Steve's crazy. Fucking crazy, dude. Fucking crazy. But yeah, that's my only like visual suggestion. Yeah, I think it would be it. I would do what the Jasmine are doing, and like have like you can have your own personal like Twitter and Insta and TikTok and stuff, but probably have like a branded like Twitter account, and then like a branded TikTok account, and a branded Instagram account, like, or whatever. I mean, that way it's like not just YouTube, because like you can promote your stuff on Twitter like you do all the time, but I think if you have like your own dedicated like Twitter page or whatever to like post shorts on, or like that kind of stuff, it might be better for like not attracting, but like, what do they say in marketing? What's the term? Where you want to redirect people, you know, different forms of like viewership flowing. Like, so that's what I've tried to tap into. That's what Jasmine have really tried to tap into recently. Yeah, so like I think it would just be smarter to build like an all-around like brand on all the different social media platforms, because again, there's people on my Instagram that follow my Instagram for like the memes and like the funny content that I put. They don't even give a shit that I do jazz or sports stuff, like, at all. Or people on Twitter, like, not me for example, but there's other people that post like, you know, general political stuff, or general like NFL and sports stuff, or, you know, animal shit. Like, you know, I think it's smart to be able to have an audience on different platforms, because there's people like me and you that are watching your content on every different platform, that are dedicated to that point. But I think it's smart to hit the other 20 to 60% of viewership that aren't watching you on YouTube. You know what I mean? So, like, if people want to watch T-Talk right now or see any of your clips, it's YouTube. That's it. That's the only thing that they're going to see is your YouTube. So they have to find your Twitter, right? So like, if they're like, how are they going to find out what T-Talk is the real question, right? And I don't want to be sounding like a fucking social media guru, considering I get no likes on any of my tweets and I have 100 subs on YouTube. Like, I'm not a guru here. This is just my opinion, okay? I think it is smarter to be able to like have a brand. I might like this circular logo here as more of a main logo, and then using this you guys as like a Twitter background or something. Like I like this main logo you guys have. I don't know if you made it or if Jade made it or if you guys had a custom designer, but I like the T-Talk logo there. And so I don't hate that being like maybe a main branded logo that you use on Twitter, Instagram, everything, because that's another thing is if they're going to search for you on Instagram or search for you on Twitter or TikTok or YouTube, like they're going to search for you somewhere. It's nice to have that continuity of the same profile picture. Like, again, that's something that, I don't know if you've noticed, I've changed over the last couple days, is to have the continuity there. They're like, oh, that I know that profile picture, that's got to be them. And if it's not them, then it's like a fan page kind of situation. So I think having that kind of branding and then the reachability on all platforms is sick. And you guys do great short form content, like that kind of stuff. Like your clips would pop off on TikTok, straight up. Like, I don't know if you're using it. Like if your clips are getting like 2,000 views on YouTube, which they are, they'd pop the fuck off on TikTok, frankly. And then that'd be a great thing. It's like if you start getting viewers on TikTok, not only could you stream on TikTok, which I think you can, I don't know how to set that up. But then at that point, you're redirecting those, because it's way easier to get views on TikTok. That's straight up. That's just how it is. Like when it comes to viewership, followers, maybe it's because they're all bots or Chinese. I don't know. But TikTok is like the route to go. So it's smart, especially again with your guys' short form content, really good, to draw in the viewerships on TikTok and then redirect them to your YouTube to watch the episodes. And then while they're watching the episodes every week on YouTube, you can redirect them to your Twitter or your Instagram to get daily updates, or, you know, we're going to the game, you guys can check out the story there, or like you can do other kind of like stuff like that. Okay, I'll just do TikTok so it doesn't become too much. Nah, dude, do it all. Do it all. That's my pro tip. Because, again, if we go, like, Jasmine don't have a Twitter or an X. That's the one thing but maybe they have, like, a Blue Sky or something. Like, they have an Instagram. They have a TikTok. And they post all that stuff everywhere. I don't have our shorts saved, though, so I'll just have to post the newest ones for tomorrow. You're chilling, dude. Yeah. Just start, like, that's my pro tip. You asked for the suggestion. That's my suggestion, bro, is make it easier for people to find your content is the pro tip. And then make it more, like, branded. Not that it's not branded. I don't know. I just think I can't, like, click on it to zoom in, but, like, you know what I mean with this logo? Like, you can get the full circle of the Jazz note and make that the whole icon circle. Like, you don't... Like, unless you really want your shorts and your shoes and your legs in the profile picture, like, unless you really value that, and, like, unless you really value the people walking back there or the Delta Center glass, like, I just think you with that purple background, you guys with the purple background would look sweet. It'd be easier to see. In the comments, you guys can let me know. Maybe I'm just nitpicky here, but that's what I would do. But also, my branding fucking sucks, so, like, don't ask me. Ask Jasmine, dude. See what Spencer says, dude. If Spencer thinks you should do something like that, do that.
He's just gonna be like, well, we have too many forwards and, like, we don't have enough guards. Well, is it a bad thing to have size and shooting all over the place and interchangeability? And, you know, if marketing would be the piece that I guess you could potentially trade or move for a guard, but I think it's way harder to find good forwards than good guards right now.
Yeah, I mean, forwards with the skills that Boozer has.
Skilled
and then also
forwards is a premium, you know?
His dad also is, I don't know.
Well, that's the other thing. They're under the hood with Boozer. They're under the hood with Boozer and DeBanza. They know those kids. They know the families. Like, they know those guys would be happy in Utah, which is a whole other piece. And Peterson's, like, such a wild card. And so
I think that's a good thing, dude. Get Peterson here, 7 years, convince him this place is awesome, and then we get a Cam Boozer and HA in free agency, dude. It's a smart move. If you want to build a proper dynasty, that's what we do.
The season he had was weird. What am I bringing in? What if he doesn't like it here? What happened to him last year? What was that creatine thing? You know, if he takes Peterson, then that will make me think Peterson is going to be awesome, because that would mean Danny's.
I agree, dude. If we take him at 2, that just reassures everything that I think he's going to be fucking amazing. So I'm like, yes, Danny sees it. Danny and Austin see what I see. That's how I feel.
Like, I've overlooked all of these other red flags. I'm not going to take this guy that I know is going to be good because I think this guy might be Kobe, right? So if they take him second, I feel like he would have to have landed on that. And I know it's like his son's there, Austin, and the owner's there. I know it's not going to be Danny's call, but he's too good at this. Like, at some point, if he's convinced on a certain guy, that's going to, I think, be the guy they take.
I think of the top 3 guys, I mean, Peterson's personality on his team and his dynamic with his teammates is obviously the most in question. And this year, after the year that we just saw, Boozer, you never hear a word about him as a teammate. Devonta, I haven't heard anything like that. I mean, I know his dad's really involved. He's a real no-nonsense dude, but I haven't heard anything like you just don't hear the same things about those 2 guys as opposed to Peterson. So, I mean,
and it's
Peterson
not like
is
we're hearing bad stuff about Peterson. There's just like, this is a pick that could make or break. Odd. Well, I think Fultz, who's a completely different story and a completely different guy, is a good prism to look at this. Like, you miss that Fultz pick and don't take Tatum, that sets you back 5 years, and you're betting on somebody that wasn't physically 100% and, maybe wasn't wired the same way Tatum was, and it worked out the way it did. So with Peterson, I think
I hate to brag, but I never had faith in Markelle Fultz, dude. Never. I also didn't have faith in Lonzo Ball. I thought his shot was fucked up. But I also wasn't a super big believer in anybody else in that draft, so I wasn't like a big Tatum guy either. So, but I probably would have taken Tatum 1 in hindsight, but like I wasn't that high on him.
Peterson one is the toughest dilemma in a long time with the high school tape versus what happened in the past year. And I don't know. I don't think there's a right answer. I don't think somebody can be 5 years from now like, I told you. Like, there's no way to know. It's too separate. Because that high school tape we've talked about is some of the best high school tape I've ever seen of a guard. And maybe Danny would watch that and go, ugh. But the thing is, if Boozer goes 2, is Memphis really going to take Peterson 3?
Short answer, yes. They're going to take Darren Peterson at 3.
Because that would be weird too. Like, I really think there's a chance Peterson would go 4. And Gavoni was on somewhere was saying like Peterson is the best prospect in this draft. He should go first. I don't know. I could see him going 4th too. It's such a hard one to target.
I'd go ahead and take him if I'm Memphis. I mean, you think about Coward and Peterson together. Why not? Is there something that what are you worried about with him? I mean, he could come in and be your best player the way he wants.
He would immediately be their best player. Like that's what I don't understand. Darren Peterson doesn't fit in Memphis? What are we talking about? Like, unless you want to continue with Ja Morant, which you're not going to do, pretty sure Darren Peterson would do just fine in Memphis. Like, that's not a fucking question to me. I don't understand that, Bill. What are we doing?
They have some guys there already. I mean, if you think about Edey at the 5,
Wilson,
if he's healthy.
Isn't Wilson the most Memphis guy possible, other than maybe Boozer?
I would say Boozer's the most Memphis guy.
Both
I think
of those guys
has a lot of Memphis to him too. Wilson doesn't strike me. I mean, we're putting the personality of our franchise on a guy. I mean, Wilson doesn't strike me as much as Memphis-y, but Wilson's the interesting one because you'll hear people.
Well, I was talking with Wilson. I was just talking about the guy fucking gives a shit and tries his ass off, and that's like,
whoa, dude. Bill Simmons needs to watch his mouth, dude. I teach the Sunbeams this week, and I can't be having that kind of profanity, dude. Holy shit.
Kind of the culture they've tried to build over the last 20 years.
I think all 4 of these guys do, though. That's the thing. It's just, I think, Peterson
you can't say that about Peterson. That's, I mean, he was just leaving games and not coming back. Like, I don't know. I know weird shit was going on with him physically, but that's still a red flag for me.
And I polled some people about the creatine thing, and they acted like that was not kind of flimsy. I heard some
really
mixed
weird
responses to that. Yeah. He's the most talented shot maker in the draft, and I think he's the most talented scorer in the draft. It's not close.
That's crazy, dude. What do the Jazz need the most? A really good shooter / scorer. That's what we need. That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? I mean, we also need perimeter defense, but what also does Darren Peterson supply? Isn't that crazy, bro? But go ahead. Take Cam Boozer, Danny. Go ahead and do it.
close. But like we've talked about, you know, you can't just draft a guy for talent, because if we were just drafting people for talent, it's your personality, how you jive with your teammates, all those things matter. You know, and so, you know, I watched in Kentucky at a high school event, I watched AJ and Darren go head to head, and Darren was better, like pretty clearly, not even close. I mean, kind of dominated. And you hear stories from people who have watched many of those matchups and said Darren won every single time. What do you think about that? You know, it's like he's going to be an elite dribble pull-up shooter. I think he'll be able to play off the ball. He has great middle game. He's a great athlete. Is he like a super duper elite athlete? I don't know, but he's a very good one. And I think he's a good passer. I think at times guys have to make shots for your numbers to look good at times. Kansas
sounds like you're back in on him.
Well, this is the maddening thing about this top four, is that I have gone back and forth over and over again. Right now, I'm kind of sitting at, I kind of think I would take Boozer 1.
What?
I know House wants his shot making, you know, sexy score. Something to be excited about for the future. I think I'll say it again. I think the most efficient, direct, straight line way for the Washington Wizards to be a great basketball team is to take Boozer first. And I think they'd be good. They'd be serious. They'd be like playing possibly by next year. I think that could be.
That's a great idea, actually. You know what? I like the way this guy thinks. Let's convince the Wizards to draft Cam Boozer, because with Cam Boozer, they might be able to make the play-in next year. Think about it, okay? Forget the fact that if they take AJ or Darren, they'll probably be in the playoffs. But if they take Cam, they might be in the play-in next year. Think about that, guys. So, like, if Cam's available at 2, what are we doing? We're trying to make the play-in, not the playoffs. How's this guy not a GM, dude? Fucking common sense. Think your fucking way through life. Am I right, boys? Shit.
Possible for them.
Oh, I paused it right at the right time, right at the end. Yeah, fucking dumb idea, dude. Shout out Jazz Nation News for posting that today. Yeah, dude, like, I don't know, bro. If you're taking Cam Boozer 1, I think you're letting way too many analytical people whisper in your ear at night. Like, I don't know. It's not about, I don't know. I don't want to insult Cam Boozer. I should stop going off, but I think the fact that it is being discussed, him at 2, is fucking nuts. What did David Locke say? Rather than Devin Booker, if it all goes right, is Darren Peterson a 6'6" Donovan Mitchell? That'd be tight, dude. A 6'6" Donovan Mitchell? Boys, is that what we want? Would you rather have a 6'6" Donovan Mitchell or a 6'6" Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? You know what I mean? Which would you rather? So, I get it. I'm cool with the Donovan Mitchell comp. Let's see what he says, but I don't know.
But I think he might be a little almost bigger than Devin Booker. Like, I think Devin Booker's 6'5", 205. I think Peterson finishes this thing.
Wait, did you see that, dude? That's how much he weighs? Time out. Devin Booker weighs 65,205 pounds. Are you shitting me, David Locke? Are you kidding? 65,205 is what he weighs? That's insane, dude. Absolutely insane. Appreciate the suggestions. I guess my main thing is I only really care about subs on YouTube. Like, would the people from TikTok actually watch the podcast? Yes. I mean, people can disagree in the comments if they want to, but I would like to believe, yeah. Maybe Jasmine would be able to jump in and disagree with me or not, but yeah, I think having a lot of viewership on different platforms most certainly helps grow your main platform. Yeah. If you're using, again, imagine it's like arm extensions. Those other social medias do not need to be your main, like, at all. Like, they could have minimal followers. I just think it's smart to be posting your content on all those and directing them to your YouTube. And that applies for anything. If you're trying to grow your TikTok, you should be doing stuff on all the other platforms and then directing people to your TikTok. Or your Instagram, directing people to your Instagram. Whatever your main platform is, that's what I would be doing. So, again, having a Like in the title? What do you mean? I'm probably not in the title, like in the comments, or I don't know. But yeah, I think that's just the route that I think you should go. It's like, why would you, if you have the option to have multiple sources of income, why would you not? You know what I mean? Like that should be the whole argument. Like, yeah, YouTube has really gotten better with the discoverability of it all. Like that's the main reason I'm streaming on YouTube. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have been doing all this on Twitch, because Twitch was the way better streaming platform. But recently, over the last 5 or 6 years, YouTube has improved their algorithm for it all. So you're gonna, you know, it's easy. Like my live streams now are available basically as video format for people to watch whenever, however. So like I'm getting, like, some of my streams from 2 weeks ago, I've been getting 50 to 100 views on them just like throughout the day over the last couple of days. So I like that discoverability of YouTube now, and shorts, you can just direct them to your channel, everything. So YouTube's gotten way better in that sense, but that's still the argument. Okay, yeah, the comments, that's a great, okay, yeah. So I just think, yeah, it's, if you can direct as many people to, like, imagine the analogy, this is like not a solid analogy, but I just kind of thought about it. Imagine if you were doing a yard sale at your house. Imagine the yard sale is your YouTube channel or your TikTok channel or whatever your main, whatever, for you guys, it's your YouTube, right? Imagine that's your garage sale. All the other social medias can be signs that you're putting on the different streets around the neighborhood saying yard sale at this address or yard sale arrow this way. Like, you can be doing that, and that's what all the social medias would be for you. Again, you don't have to do Snapchat or Blue Sky or fucking True Social. Like, you don't Reddit, you don't have to be doing all these things. But I think hitting the main ones like YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, those four. Like, if you want to do Facebook and reach out to your grandma and your great aunt and your fucking third cousin's nephew, like, if you want to do Facebook, go for it. But like, I think Instagram is the better meta social media product, and I think that's what you should be doing, is trying to hit one of the main company, you know. So that's what I would do. Again, it's a little rambly, it's a little but again, like, if you're putting stuff on Twitter, like you've seen the Twitter, there's way more jazz people on Twitter than there are on YouTube, than there are on Instagram, than there are on TikTok, I think. Like, Twitter is the, like, again, and I go right here, it's gonna be like relevant people or suggested people to follow, it's gonna be like all jazz people. You've seen it, it's just nothing but jazz people. So if you can get all these people, who, again, I don't want to like be super specific, let's just find like one jazz person here. Again, James Hansen, he's a YouTube guy, let's not do James Hansen. Let's do like a, okay, here's AJ. I don't think he does YouTube. Like, AJ here has almost 1,700 followers. If he retweets one of your tweets, I don't have any social media like that. Yeah, dude. Again, if you follow him, or like if somebody like that in the jazz Twitter community retweets your tweet, it's way better than you posting a reel on YouTube, more likely than not. It's going to be seen by more people. Probably. So I just think in that kind of argument, it's good to have your hand in all the pots. Even if you're not, like, you don't, again, go to my Twitter. I'm not posting a lot. Go to my Instagram. Like, my Instagram is more like kind of fun, but my TikTok is just clips. I'm rarely on TikTok, frankly. You don't have to be posting or scrolling or commenting, or like, just have an outlet for people to discover you on that platform. That's all that matters, you know? So, and the whole argument with like TikTok and stuff is people are like afraid to post on there, and like, I don't want to like be spammy and post too much, post too many clips. I think the numbers, like, out of people that see your video on TikTok, it's something like 20 to 30% are your followers. So like, most of your followers don't even see your content. So when it comes to TikTok and like YouTube Shorts and stuff, just from what I know, just post everything and anything, and then just redirect them to your YouTube channel. Like, that's what I would do. And I would say I wasn't really doing that on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram. I was just doing YouTube for the first like week or two, and then I started posting stuff on TikTok and posting more shorts and doing all that kind of stuff, and that's when my subscriber count started going up. Not like heavily, but you know what I mean. So I think there's some science to my madness a little bit. But yeah, like that's what I would do, Ty. That's my recommendation. Do what you want. Do what you want, brother.
But I think he might be a little almost bigger than Devin Booker. Like, I think Devin Booker's 6'5", 205. I think Peterson finishes this thing with shoes at 6'6", 210, 215. I mean, we're going to call him 6'6", I think, when he plays. Booker's terrific. Booker, at his peak, has averaged 27, 28 points a game. Darren Peterson, at his peak, scores 27, 28 points a game.
But we're going to let him fall to 3? Like, what? Huh? You're telling me this guy at his peak scores 27 a game? That's the guy you take it to, okay?
But I actually think that Darren Peterson is a 6'6" Donovan Mitchell. Now, I don't know that he has that wiggle. Donovan has the most incredible wiggle. Like a running back through a line. But to me, that's what I see out of Darren Peterson if all goes right. Because when you start to comp him to a bunch of these other guys, they don't have the jumper. Donovan Mitchell is actually a 37% career three-point shooter. He's been better at times. He takes a huge volume at 9 and 10 a game. I think Darren Peterson takes 9 and 10 threes a game. I think he's coming off the bounce, shooting threes at a very...
Reminder, if he's shooting 10 threes a game, it's a lot, because Steph Curry shoots 11 and a half, so 10 threes a game is a lot.
Very, very high level. And I think he's coming off pin down shooting threes. And I think he's getting threes off the catch and shoot. And I think he's going to be an elite catch and shoot guy. When you look at the best catch and shoot guys in the NBA this year, and you're talking about, Con Knippel is at 42%, Dante DiVincenzo was at 38%, Max Strus at 42%, Steph Curry at 38%, Brandon Miller at 39%, Devin Vassell 39%. I think he's in that realm. If all goes right. He's that good a shooter.
I mean, if he's that good of a shooter, bro, like, I don't know, bro. I'll take it. I'll gladly take it and be happy with it. I don't know if you guys saw this awesome video by Ace Bailey and the Jazz Bear today. Absolute piece of art. I don't know why Ace is so pumped in that video. It's like, yay! We're drafting somebody so I can go play on the bench. Like that's what we're doing here, Ace. I apologize, brother, but yeah.
Go Darren Peterson at 1. I think he's the primo talent in this draft. A lot of people didn't get to see that because of injuries and the type of year that he had. I don't know that the average college basketball fan got to really understand what makes Darren Peterson such a special talent. And then at 2, I think there's a real argument to be made for Cam Boozer, really. I think that, he's been the most productive player in every setting that he's played in. And, his ability to handle, pass, shoot, and guard at the 4 position at 6'9".
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, will there be a draft watch party? If not, inside the Delta Center, outside the Delta Center? It's not often we get the number 2 pick and we want to celebrate together. Yeah, that sounds fun, but I'll be sitting right here. I will be streaming the draft. I will not be at a draft party. But would be fun for the fans, Ryan. I recommend it. Would be fun. They should make it a whole celebration, dude. I mean, we're about to draft the best player in our franchise history, potentially. Let's throw a party. Everyone in Utah knew that Clarkson's shot was going down. Oh, that was... I don't know. I didn't watch the game, dude. I'm sorry. Markelle Fultz and Lonzo Ball would have been much better fits next to Gordon Hayward and Jaylen Brown. Plus, Fultz and Lonzo were the best player available. So dumb of Danny to take Jason Tatum when the Celtics had just signed Gordon Hayward to max SMH. Interesting. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Gordon Hayward did sign the year before? No, that doesn't make sense, because Tatum was drafted in 17, right? Right? Yeah, June 22nd, 2017, okay? What day did Gordon Hayward, not break his leg, sign with the Celtics? Callback, dude? July 4th, exactly, so he hadn't... Yeah, my argument's correct. He didn't... Jason Tatum was drafted before they even signed Gordon Hayward. So... your whole argument doesn't make sense here, dude. So dumb of Danny to take Jason Tatum when Celtics had just signed Gordon Hayward to a max contract. They didn't yet. They hadn't done it yet. They drafted Jason Tatum, and then they signed Gordon Hayward. So the argument should be the other way around. It should be like, yo, why is Gordon Hayward getting signed? They have Jaylen Brown, and they just drafted Jason Tatum. That should have been the argument. I think Darren Peterson is going in this week if he hasn't already been to visit. Okay, DP coming to Utah. Let's go, dude. Let's go. See, the Utah Jazz have held a pre-draft workout with BYU's Keba Keita. The 6'8 senior forward averaged 6.2, 7.2 rebounds, and 1 steal and 1.8 block a game. 68-0-55 shooting splits the last season for the Cougars. I mean, I don't hate him to play on our G League team, but I don't know. Giannis wants to be traded to a historical franchise per Kevin O'Connor, dude. A historical franchise? Giannis. Brother. You want to go somewhere historical? Bro. Enjoy the Washington Wizards, dog. Talk about historic. The nation's capital. The White House is there. The Lincoln Memorial is there. The reflecting pool is there. Bro. Giannis, enjoy being a Washington Wizard. Gonna be sick. So fucking funny, dude. Wants to be in a historical franchise. Shouldn't have used the word historical, dude. Should have been like popular. I want to go to a popular franchise. Whatever. Ew, dude. Fucking gross, dude. Seeing DP in a Washington Wizards jersey makes me want to throw up, dude. AJ in a Washington jersey looks good, actually. I like that. That's what should happen. That's crazy, dude. You would ask me like a month and a half ago, I'd be like, bro, I'd kill anybody for AJ DeMonta. Like right now, I'm like, nah. I hope Washington drafts AJ and we get that demon on the right, dude. Should be wearing purple. That shit should be in purple is what I'm saying, boys. We'll see. We got a week or 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks to find out. Better be one of those two. That's all I'm saying. If it's anybody other than one of those two guys, you'll see me over in that corner crying on stream. I'll just be like, fuck it, in the corner, just crying myself. So expect funny clips, dude. If you're watching the draft and it shows anybody other than those two at 2 by us, come back to the channel. Expect something funny, dude. God. Who's the most explosive point guard here? I mean, it's either Russ or D Rose. Yeah, it's not the homies on the left. I'll tell you that. Might be Ja, but it's probably Russell. Probably Westbrook's the most explosive. Yeah, Russ. Yeah, here's Bill Simmons talking about Danny Ainge. Yeah, it's a smokescreen, dude. It's been smokescreen. Absolute smokescreen. But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw. If you're following me on Instagram, you already saw me post this. Sick ass hats. This is the hat that the draft pick will be wearing. You know, when they walk up and grab it off the podium and put that hat on like they do every year. This is the hat that they will be wearing. So it's got the Jazz note on it, black hat, Jazz note with like embezzled like, I don't know, gems. I don't know what the word is. I'm not good at fashion stuff. Embezzled gems is my guess. But then it's also got this sick chain on the side. Look at that, dude. It's got a chain on the side. It says Utah with the logo. So, long story short, it's available on Fanatics. So, may or may not be ordering one tonight or tomorrow. I'm actually ordering 2 because my dad wants one. I'm just waiting for him to get back on his hat size. But once I get that figured out, I'm buying 2 of those bitches tomorrow. So, hopefully, no spoiler, on draft night, I will be wearing the same hat that the draftees are wearing. Hopefully. And by draftees, I mean draftee. So, that's my hope. Yeah, dude. The hat is sick. I don't love the jamminess of it. I think it would have been cool if it was just straight up purple. But so it's a little feminine, but like, it's okay. We'll survive. But I do really like the jewelry on the side. The flashy like necklace thing. I think that's really cool. But I probably wouldn't wear this hat out. I think I would just wear it like on the draft or like during streams and stuff. I wouldn't really want to get it dirty because like, I don't know if you can see on this hat, dude. This hat is mad dirty, dude. I got cat hair on it. It's a dirty hat. So I probably would not do that with this hat. But it looks really good. Again, really feminine, but it's cool. We'll be buying it. It's sweet. And then there is, in fact, we should go to the website. There is a flat brim version. 20%. Oh, dude. Wow. Free shipping. There is a flat brim version of it, but it doesn't have the chain on the side, and it's like $15 cheaper or something. So if you're more of a flat brim person, you can get that. But again, it doesn't have the chain on the side. And I don't believe... Okay, so they might be wearing the flat brim one on the night of the draft. It depends. It's probably optional. I bet they can probably choose what they wear. But I'm going with the normal ball cap one because I like ball cap hat more. And I like the chain. But yeah, dude, you can get them... Yeah, a little less, $14 more. So basically $15 more. But yeah, dude, they're on Fanatics. Bunch of hats on Fanatics. I just have kind of realized over the last hour or two. But I ordered a bunch of hats today on a different website. So expect more Jazz hats coming in, and then I need to get more like Jazz hoodies and shit. So I'm gonna be doing that over the next couple months, buying more Jazz merch. And then, as I've been saying over the last couple weeks, I'm gonna be getting more Jazz jerseys next year. I don't know specifically whose jerseys I'm gonna be getting. I'm gonna be getting the black one. I'll probably be doing that. I'll probably be getting Aces, honestly, in the black one. I have the black Keontae George yellow one. I have this one, but like the old one that doesn't have the blue in it, which I think looks better. I have that of marketing, so I probably won't get this one. But then I need the white one, and I think that's where I'm going to get whoever we draft this year will be the white jersey that I get. And then I need to get a Jaren Jackson Jr. one, but I think I might save that for next season till we find out whatever that jersey is. Because I like this, the gray one, but I don't like that for Jaren Jackson Jr. So I don't know. Maybe I get Jaren in the black and Ace in the blue. I don't know. But the white jersey I will be getting of whoever we draft this year. So expect that. And I expect more merch. I don't know, like sweatshirts. What do we got, dude? We got any sick Jazz sweatshirts? Nothing highlighter yellow, but like the purple stuff's cool. The tracksuit's cool. But yeah, I need more Jazz shit. I know Ty. I know you get stuff on eBay. I think that's what you said. We got that hat, but slowly we get more merch. But yeah, those hats that dropped today. What are we at? Hour 40. I don't know how much longer we'll go. We'll see. We'll see. It's only 9:45. Let's see. We are Jeff Hornacek number of days away from drafting Darren Peterson or AJ DeMonta. Thank God, or Cam Boozer, and then we all cry, which is possible. Peterson is on. Let's see. Updated, whatever. If Peterson is on the board, he will be the pick at 2. It actually may be a relatively easy pick because Boozer just doesn't fit with Jaren Jackson and Larry Markin on the roster. Conversely, Peterson is very clean fit alongside Keontae George in what should be Utah's backcourt of the future. Yep. I agree, dude. I don't give a shit about you, Trae Young. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, dude, take my damn money. Damn straight, dude. It's such a good hat. I need that shit. I will have that shit. The charm on the side is fire. If you disagree, it's okay to be wrong. Yeah, dude. Yeah, but the correct, but the bedazzled logo is shit. Yeah, I agree. The bedazzled logo fucking sucks, but that chain on the side is tough. That is so tough. So, but yeah, the bedazzled really isn't pretty. I wish it was just like, again, purple note, whatever. Yeah. Nothing else really Jazz related. All-time turnover leaders, dude. LeBron, dude. No, no way. But he's also played more than fucking anybody and has the most points, so it's understandable. New week, new draft profile. Let's read it, dude. What's Darren Peterson's draft profile from the Jazz? Let's give it a read. How long is it? Okay. Shot making is one of the most coveted skills in today's NBA. Players who can create their own shots and convert those opportunities have always been valuable, but as playoff basketball continues to emphasize that skill set, teams have increasingly prioritized players with that ability. Enter Darren Peterson. Peterson thrived as a scorer at the guard position during his lone season at the University of Kansas, showcasing elite three-point shooting and a high level of skill on the offensive end, all while flashing compelling tools on defense. As we continue our series of draft profiles here on UtahJazz.com, let's take a look at Peterson's game and how it projects to the next level. Background, he's 19, went to Kansas, guard, 6'5", 199 pounds, 6'10", wingspan. Elite shot making, driving and finishing down low. Limited playmaking flashes, but that doesn't mean he can't do it. Okay, that doesn't mean he can't do it, boys. Also, shout out to the consistent 5 to 7 viewers we've had the last like 40 minutes. Nobody's talking, but I appreciate you guys watching. Tools on defense, yeah, tools and activity on defense. Totally think he can do. I think he's gonna be a really good defender at the NBA level. All that's yet to be proven, but I think he shows the signs of being a really good defender. I don't know if that's first team all defense, but you know, really good. See, Peterson carries with him aesthetic and biomechanical markers of some of the best shooting guards to have ever played basketball. Lingering injuries have affected his public perception, but the tools and undeniable two-way production still prop him up as one of the draft's crown jewels. He's the most gifted scorer and shot maker in the class, with room to improve as an on-ball creator. NBA teams will continue to be diligent in understanding the context of a season, with a full-body cramping episode in the preseason creating a health setback that seemingly colored the rest of Peterson's freshman year both physically and mentally. Yep. So, that's the report on Peterson from the Utah Jazz themselves. So, we'll see. It's very interesting. You guys know, dude, I want him so bad, so fucking bad, so fucking so fucking bad. I don't know what I'd give up for him, but like, the whole idea of like giving up Ace Bailey and the number 2 pick for AJ didn't make sense to me. But I could be convinced giving up Ace Bailey and the 2 pick for Darren Peterson. I could be convinced if that was like the only way we could get Darren. I still think I wouldn't, but like, it's more compelling. Okay, more compelling. But yeah, dude, good shit. Good shit, Utah Jazz. We love to see it. But yeah. Oh, that is Brian Johnson, the health dude. Some woman giving birth. I don't want to see that. What was that, bro? Danny Boy commented on some pretty gamer girl. All right, Danny Boy. Sweet dreams, Jazz fans. I know I said top 5. I'm gonna get copyright, so we're gonna turn the music all the way down. But I'm gonna do top 5, and I'm top 2. I'm top Hermes Link. I'll fight you. That's what he says, dude. That's exactly how that song goes, guys. Imagine that's the edit. And then on this one, I'll do the next one. Oh wait, okay, wait. Ready? I'm with the AP. I'm 200K. Rainbow face. Fucking icy, dude. I'm so good. I know the song so well. Went left, went right, Left. It's such a good song, dude. You know what I mean? You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Perfect edit. We're getting one of the two of them. That's what matters, okay? And whenever we get one of the two of them, I will be doing a live stream solely expected to get copyright banned, and we're just going to be playing that song, whatever we draft, over and over and over again. If it's Rainbow Face, we're playing Gunna all night. Okay? If it's fucking Galblaz or whatever the name of the song is, Hermes Link, we're playing Drake all night long. Okay? Whatever we draft, that's what we're doing. Okay? If my channel gets banned after that, then fucking we went out guns a-blazing. Okay? It's the Peterson workout this week. Everyone be alert if you're at the airport. Yeah, dude. If you're going to the Salt Lake City airport this week, look for a 6'6" future superstar. Okay? If you see him, let us know. I'd love to be the first to report on it, so send it my way. Let's see. Ugliest Jazz hat by a mile. I wish Brandon Bills would come out with a Utah Jazz hat. Just look at these beauties. In fact, I do need to buy some from Brandon Bills. I know people love Brandon Bills. So let's do a little jazz strolling on Brandon Bills, dude. Give him a little plug. Hey, Brandon Bills, if you guys want to sponsor the channel, hit me up, dude. I will gladly take free hats. Hats. Can we do not college? Is there a fucking Utah Jazz option, bro? Can I just search Utah Jazz? Let's just do that. Utah. Let's just see if there's Utah options, huh? Huh? Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, you want a beehive, dude? A little beehive hat? Sick, dude. No Jazz yet. Utes. Lots of Utes. Lots of beehive. Any Mammoth or Jazz branded bills? Sure would be sick. I guess I can just search that, dude, instead of Utah, huh? Let's be smart here. Utah Jazz. Come on. Please? Well, that's so upsetting. They don't have any Jazz hats on branded bills? Okay. What about Utah Mammoth? Any Mammoth hats? No Mammoth hats. That's upsetting, dude. Of course not. Yeah, Brandon Bills ain't got shit. Shout out to Brandon Bills. In fact, let's go to the website I got mine from. I think mine over 47 brand. Yeah. So I got this hat, dude. This hat's tight. Okay, this hat's tight. Cause like I've always liked the kind of like torn up kind of look, dude. So I got this sick ass hat. Dope. I wanted like classic purple look. And then I got. In fact, let's just look. Let's look at all this shit, and I'll show you which of the Jazz hats I got. Because it was like, I could use a code. I got like a 20% discount. So I'm like, alright, I'm buying 3 hats instead of 1. I got this one, this Carhartt one, this tan one. Just because like, I feel like I can wear that out. I can wear that like with most of the clothes that I have. So like, it's a fitting hat. And then I almost got this one, the purple note one, but decided not to. Almost got this all black one, decided not to. Almost got a normal black one, but again, I'm already wearing one. These ones are nicer than the one I'm wearing, but still. None of these. Almost got the trucker one because I like the trucker hats, but those are tough. Yeah, dude. And then where's the rest? There's. Yeah, so then I got these two. So then I got this one because it was 50% off. So it was $22, and then I got 20% off that. So it was like $17 or some shit. I'm like, give me that hat, bro. Give me that hat. So yeah, this one's really sick. It's the purple with the black brim with the like classic Jazz branding. But then it's got like all the holes again, like the tapered kind of look. I just bought a pinstripe one. That's sick, dude. I do need to find a pinstripe like style, like 90s something. But to be fair, I do have a 90s Raptors jersey on right now, so like I have some 90s stuff. Pinstripe Jazz, tough, dude. Fucking tough. Yeah, that's basically what I got. Right, I got that hat. I got both these hats. One with the black brim, one with the all purple, different logos, and then that tan one. So I got those 3 sick ass hats. Again, I almost got this purple one. I'll probably go back and get this purple one. I just don't know like what I'm gonna wear with the all purple. Like that's why I got the black brimmed one too. So I was like, I kind of want a purple one that I can also wear with other stuff that's not just like super purple. But you get discounts on here? Yeah, dude. Yeah, you can literally, because this is already 50% off, and then I forget what the code was. It was like some person's name. It was like Susan20. I think that's what it was. Susan20, bro. gave me 20% off already on the 50% off. So that hat was $17. It was sick. But also, I don't know. When it arrives, maybe it's a shitty hat. I'll find out. Once it arrives, maybe I'll tell you it's sick, and then I'll send you to this website and say, dude, do it. But they got other shirts and hoodies and stuff, so it's not just hats. Like, and they have decent hats, like Sorry I Was Hooping hat with a Jazz logo. That's kind of sick. Anything highlighter yellow is just disgusting. We all know that. An NBA Finals shirt. That's sick. NBA Finals hat. That's cool. Yeah. I'm figuring out different websites that'll give you good merch. I know this works. I know Fanatics is good. I know obviously whatever it is, NBAshop.com, you can get stuff, right? NBA shop. Or the NBA store, yeah. I know I can get stuff here, but this is where it's gonna be like way more expensive on here, obviously. Give me Utah Jazz. Oh, dude, free shipping, hell yeah. No, we were already on this website, were we not? It's just like, I guess it looks like Fanatics. I don't know. Hats, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so it's like the Fanatics shit, basically. Yeah, it's the same website. Okay. Good shit though. It's all just way pricier. Like, it's a cool hat, but I'd rather get the hat that I got for $17 than spend $50 on that one. So there's obviously gonna be certain websites that are better, certain knockoff websites, but like that one's cool for $30. Like, I wouldn't mind that. The purple one. But yeah, merch game is getting upgraded. That's all I'm saying, boys. We're slowly gonna be upgrading. In fact, it doesn't even have to be hats, dude. What's the hoodie game look like? Get the yellow out of here. Anything other than yellow, like that baby blue, dude. That baby blue is nice. Don't hate it. That's kind of unique. That kind of abstract jazz one. I mean, it's a youth hoodie, so it probably wouldn't fit, but I don't know. Yeah, you like the curved rims better. Yeah, that's always like, I mean, I don't know if like, it's just more my head shape, more my style. Like, I play golf, I do that kind of stuff. Like, the flat brim just does not, I don't know, it's just not like my forehead. It doesn't like, it's never been a good look for me. So I've always rolled with the curved hats. I like them more. I like the dad hat more. I don't know, get mad at me, dude. I don't know. It's just a head shape thing. And I think it's a little more comfortable, and it kind of blocks the sun from your eyes a little better, you know? So there's logistics to it, too. I really like this, dude. The Rose Utah Jazz shirt. I mean, it's a woman's thing. Like, they had the man version, a men version. That'd be pretty sick. I like that hoodie. That's a cool hoodie. I know David Locke and a bunch of people have that Nike hoodie. It's nice. So yeah, dude. Basically it. How long have we been live? Almost 2 hours. Maybe we call it quits, boys. Maybe we call it quits. Unless there's some other suggestion of a video or Twitter thing you guys want me to talk about. I feel like we've hit most of the subjects. We talked Darren Peterson for a good hour at least. Yeah, we've done a bunch of other chit-chatty conversations. That guy looked like Jared McCain. It's not. Had a Jared McCain vibe to it. That's a good hoodie. All the women's ones, dude. Women ones have like sick little designs. The men's are always like really simplistic. Which is whatever, dude. It's whatever, bro. So again, like, look at that sick design. But it's a woman's one. Whatever, bro. That guy's missing a hand. That's sick. That's sick. You don't know how that affects the t-shirt, but that's sick. Again, like, all the men ones are just fucking bland. It's like a logo or a certain type font. Then it's like, look at this awesome graphic one. Oh, it's a woman's. It's for the women. It's like sick, dude. Hey, look at that sick design. Woman. Men. Sick design, kid. It's for kids. Men. Sick design, women. Men, sick design, women. It's so frustrating, dude. This one's unisex though, so like maybe that one. Maybe we take that one. I don't know. But yeah. We can go back to Twitter, but I don't think there's much more to talk about, bro. I mean, this needs to happen. I need that jersey in my collection ASAP, but yeah. That's I think that's basically it, boys. We'll do our nightly shout outs that we do. Yeah. I think that's basically it. I don't know, I'm going to keep saying that until I find something that isn't. Yeah, Xavier Tillman, I saw that. I don't want to go after Xavier Tillman. Yeah. 2 more weeks till Cam Boozer, dude. He better not be a Jazz man, dude. Ugh. I'll be fine. If it's Cam Boozer, we'll be fine. But I hope not, you know. I hope not. Yeah. Alright. We will start wrapping it up there, boys. We will give our YouTuber shout outs. We'll start with Locked On, though. We'll start at the top of the list. Alright. You guys know Locked On Jazz. David Locke. He's a must follow if you're a Jazz fan. Monday through Friday. Every morning. Good shit. Hoops Nerd, James Hansen. You can follow him on Twitter or Hoops Nerd NBA on YouTube. He does a video pretty much every day or every 2 days, kind of talking about the Jazz. Then we get to the GOATs themselves, dude. Jazzmen, the boys. Ooh, they're up a couple subs today. I think they're in the 50s yesterday, so that's good. At Jazzmen Podcast, the Jazzmen. They do a podcast every Saturday or Sunday, and again, it's on the weekend. I don't remember which one it is. But they're available on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify at Jazzmen Podcast.
Rumors that Walker Kessler's going to sign back with.
You got Javin, you got Spencer, and you got Jake somewhere. If we can find him, there's Jake, and you got Jake. So Spencer, Javin, and Jake, they're the Jazzmen. They do good content. Again, follow them on all their socials. They're great dudes. Their content is very interactive, so expect to comment on their stuff, basically. Going down the list, we got the boys themselves. T-Talk, Ty, he's in the chat. At 2Cuz Talkin', if you search T-Talk on YouTube, I'm sure it will pop up. I'm sure if you search it on Google, it'll pop up. And I'm sure within the next, who knows when, if you search it on TikTok, it may be there. Or any other social media, it might be there. But yes, T-Talk on YouTube. They do a podcast weekly every Wednesday, as long as there's no technical issues. Should be every Wednesday.
6-0.
Ty on the left, Talon on the right.
Are the Jazz rebuilding?
No, Ty says himself, it will be dropping tomorrow. And I'm assuming anywhere between 6 and 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Probably something like that. You guys can expect that, but yeah.
Huh. Is this a championship?
And make sure to put in the comments hashtag Minecraft Steve in their video that drops tomorrow. That's my pro tip. Say Zach sent you and put hashtag Minecraft Steve. 6 p.m. MDT, dude. 6 p.m. MDT on the T-Talk channel. New episode tomorrow. Expect that.
The team with Jordan Clarkson? Obviously, I was high in the night, but
But yeah, they do a bunch of basically Jazz fan talk. You know, people have been watching the Jazz for a while. Grew up watching it. They interview a bunch of people. So first episode was just them kind of talking about the channel. Then they interviewed a Wizard guy.
And we
Wizards
can just
guy.
go from there.
Then they interviewed their sister Jade, or the editor. I don't know.
In basketball, you
I don't know what her title is with T-Talk, but
in basketball,
she's an executive producer, I guess. So they interviewed her. And then they have an interview tomorrow with an Oklahoma City fan. So that should be fun to listen to. I'm sure that guy is just going to sit there and be like, I have the best team in the NBA. I'm sure he's just going to be he's going to exude cockiness, is what I'm trying to say. That's probably what's going to happen. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a great watch if you listen tomorrow. So again, follow T-Talk on YouTube and on all other social medias. Shout out Ty, shout out Talon, shout out Jade. Great people. He actually didn't LOL. It was super professional. Damn. Nice. Good for him, dude. Alright. Next, we can move down to Salt City Hoops. He does a podcast every month or so. Pretty good. Might be every week or two. But yeah, normally about an hour and a half long. Just another Jazz podcast to listen to. He does good content.
How are you? Who are you? Tell everyone.
Yeah, hi Mark.
Good stuff. I think he has guests on regularly as well. Next, we've got Utah Jazz DNA, Darren and AJ. Again, that sounds like a pun, but literally, we're about to draft a Darren or an AJ, and their names are Darren and AJ. So, kind of fun. But yeah, Darren and AJ, Utah Jazz DNA. They've been doing this content stuff for a couple years now. Really good stuff. So, give them a follow. They're great dudes. Well worth your time if you're a Jazz fan. Next, Jazz Smack. You know Boris and Diego. Great dudes.
NBA and Utah.
They finally were posted, looking at all the data that is collected at the pre-draft combine.
So he's a good dude. He's like an easy listen. Not going to be any swear words. So if you're here for that, he's not going to swear, I don't believe. So, but Jazz Smack, really good stuff. Next, we got Wraith Hoops. Cole, he's a really good dude. He's from either North Carolina, South Carolina. I don't want to dox him. He's from one of the Carolinas. But he's a Jazz fan because he started out watching Colin Sexton. So when we traded for him, he kind of followed him here. And then once we traded Sexton, he kind of stayed as a Jazz fan. So he's been making Jazz content for a good 2 years at least. So, yeah. Give Wraith a follow.
The middle brother versus the younger brother, kind of going back and forth, trading blows every time you play. And I like that. It's a really good character builder.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's been making content for years. Give him a follow. Next, Sporty Spent 17. You guys know the GOAT. He's a great dude.
Trade market right now. Jaren Jackson Jr. may be available because the Grizzlies are looking to.
His stuff is the most like cinematic when it comes to YouTube videos or YouTube Jazz videos. Cinematic, clean cuts, good photo editing or video editing when it comes to like the visual of it all. So yeah, Sporty Spent 17. He's a great follow. If you're not already following him, I don't know what you're doing. Next, we've got the two entertaining boys. You got Coleman Sports, does Jazzcast every day.
Utah Jazz, they have a sniper that nobody is talking about. The NBA draft tats are out.
So yeah, Jazzcast every day from Coleman Sports 23. It's kind of like a David Locke style video, but it's a little shorter, normally 5 to 10 minutes. So give Coleman Sports 23 a follow. And then lastly, we've got Mr. Smiley Face again. I don't know how often he's going to upload, but he was in the chat a couple days ago, so I'm going to feel obligated for a while to shout him out.
Girls, today it will be my first YouTube video ever. And today we are reacting to the NBA draft lottery. I thought.
But yeah, he reacts to the lottery. It's good shit.
No, say you swear! Give me one! Keontae! No!
Sorry, headphone users. But yeah, there's Mr. Smiley Face. So he does occasional Utah Jazz content as well. But yeah, that is what it looks like to be everybody. And we just hit the 2-hour mark, so that is absolutely perfect. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for checking out the channel, for watching, hanging out. Always appreciated to the people that are watching back in the morning. I would assume you probably didn't get this far into the stream, but if you're still here, I appreciate you. Smash that like button. It's always appreciated. But yeah, we will pull up the channel here, and then we will pull up the Twitter here. So again, you can give me a sub. It's always appreciated. Yes, sir. Appreciate the shout out, bro. Bless night. Yes, you too, Ty. Have a good night, bro. But yeah, you can follow me on the YouTube here. Hit that sub button. It's very much appreciated. You can turn on the notification bell to get notified when I go live, even though YouTube doesn't normally notify you. Smash the like on the stream. It helps a ton. The likes go a really long way when it comes to viewership and that kind of stuff. So liking, commenting really helps. If you do want to get notified when I do go live and do post, I recommend following me on Twitter and turning on the notification bell. That's link in the description below, along with my TikTok. I would follow me there and turn on the notification bell there because YouTube won't always notify you. So TikTok or Twitter is the way to go. Do it there. But yeah, and you can follow my TikTok. That's just basic stream highlights. It's not anything crazy. So don't feel too obligated to follow my TikTok. But yeah, that's basically it. Question of the night has been the same question it's been for 3 weeks now or 4 weeks now. Who do you think the Jazz will draft and who do you want the Jazz will draft? Could be one answer, could be two answers. You let me know down in the comments below. Again, if you think the Jazz will draft Darren but you want them to draft AJ, you can say Darren and say AJ. But if you think they're going to draft Darren and you want them to draft Darren, then you can just say Darren. Whatever. Answer that question down below, or both those questions. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Whole 2 hours, Ty, and all the other people. Appreciate you. We did hit a peak tonight of 9 viewers. That's the most we've ever had concurrent. So it was a good night on that end. Not a lot of people talking. It was just Ty tonight, but when it comes to viewership, it was a good night. So I appreciate you guys. Hopefully we can break 10 viewers this week. That would be fun. Just small milestones, week by week, do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys once again. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Probably late. It'll be late tomorrow. I work till 11 or so. So yeah. Other than that, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
So let me hold you till the end, 'cause I've been holding on to all the words she said. And if I fall down, I get up again, 'cause I've been holding on to all the words that you said. All the words that you said. All the words that you said. But only follow me, son. 'Cause honey, you and I are always on the run. Gonna be loving you. Saying, why do we feed the fire when we can breathe the flame? So let me hold you till the end, 'cause I've been holding on to all the words that you said. And if I fall down, I get up again, 'cause I've been holding on to all the words that you said.